Mark Block here. Since January, I've had the privilege of being the Chief of Staff to Herman Cain and the Chief Operating Officer of the Friends of Herman Cain. Tomorrow is one day closer to the White House. I really believe that Herman Cain will put United back in the United States of America, and if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't be here. We've run a campaign like nobody's ever seen, but then America's never seen a candidate like Herman Cain. We need you to get involved, because together we can do this. We can take this country back.
Now, that was Mr. Cain's Chief of Staff, Mark Block, smoking in that ad. It is certainly creating lots of buzz. David Drucker from Roll Call joins us. Before we get to the, I was corrected during the break, and Speaker Gingrich's tax policy is like Governor Perry's. There's an alternative. You can either do the flat tax or go back to the other code. I just wanted to correct that. All right, now, the ad, what do you think about it?
I was going to bring my pack of Marlboros, but I figured, you know, I'll leave that to Mark Block. You know, it's very interesting, Greta, all kidding aside. Herman Cain has the name ID at this point. So 5-6 months ago, you do an ad like this, why not? It can go viral. You can get a lot of attention on a campaign that not a lot of people are aware of. I think at this point, he's leading in most national polls. He's leading in some of the key state polls. There's no need to deflect attention from Herman Cain, the candidate. And so I think Herman Cain at this point would have been much better served by an ad that was a little bit more conventional, that featured Herman Cain's charisma, maybe even his 999 plan, any other plan he has, and let him sell himself. Because what we're talking about tonight is not the candidate. We're talking about his campaign manager and an unorthodox ad, and it deflects attention from what has been this candidate's strength.
Except for one thing, okay, this was a web ad which doesn't get to play locally like a local ad would get, like if you put it all over Iowa. We're all talking about it, so everyone's watching this ad now. So it's gotten, you know, it's almost like an ad on crack in the sense that now it's really gotten a lot of firepower behind it. Everyone sees it. The second thing is, I'm wondering if there's any voter out there who says, you know what, I was going to vote for Herman Cain. I really like that 999, but now that I've seen an ad with his Chief of Staff smoking, I'm not voting for him.
Well, I think you're speaking to my point. What I'm saying is, I don't think it serves him well at this point.
Does it hurt him?
I don't think it hurts him, but I think that if he ends up not making it to the finish line, if he doesn't win the nomination, we might look back at this and other things and go, it was that thing that turned people off. And I think one thing that Herman Cain has to be aware of is that, yes, people like a sense of humor. Yes, if you're a happy warrior, you have a better chance of winning. But people also want a sense of seriousness from the nominee. If you're going to be president, at some point you have to show that you're able. And I think when you make too many jokes and you do too many unorthodox things, people start to wonder if you're up to the job of being president. And a Republican primary voting audience might be one thing. People are happy to have a reformer, somebody who tells it like it is, and I think he can get away with a lot more in the primary than he could in a general election campaign, when the president, the sitting president, is going to come after him and say, we are in serious times, we need somebody with serious plans, and who's not going to make a joke to some prime minister. Because don't forget, presidents...
He may be lucky that the president used to be a smoker. I don't know.
Well, he might be, but look, don't forget, presidents can move markets. Presidents can say things that move other countries' battle groups. And so at some point you need to transition from somebody who says things to get noticed to somebody who realizes they've arrived and now tries to move forward from there.
I'd be surprised. I think this is just a guess that they didn't do it because they thought it was going to be some huge movement on the numbers. I think they did it because it was goofy and it was an unwise thing to do. But I think he's lucky, and I don't think this hurts him whatsoever, because I don't think any voter is going to make a decision based on this particular ad. I think it's far more dangerous what happened with Governor Perry when he was trying to unveil his big flat tax today, and then he's got all of us talking about the birther issue.
Well, it's another goof, because he takes away, in some ways I'd agree, because you'd have to say that Governor Perry probably has a better chance of winning the nomination. And here
How do you say that? How do you look at these numbers?
Yeah, tell me what the numbers are when we're 4 to 6 weeks out. out, and after he spent a good $10 to $12 million of his
money?
television. Yeah.
We better start spending because he's now down at 6%.
Well,
he's down at 6%. He needs to start spending now.
He's in the process of spending, but I've seen candidates go up, go down, and come back up. And so I still think you have to say that he has a serious chance of winning the nomination. And take a look at today, and this goes to your point. He's making a comeback. He comes out with a bold reformist agenda. And what are you and I talking about? Birtherism.
See, that's what I'm saying is that he's at 6%, so I don't think that's a comeback. It's a total decline. If you look at Herman Cain, Herman Cain's the one who's like has got a trend straight up, and you've got Governor Romney flat.
Right. And how many times though have we seen candidates that shot straight up and went right back down, or candidates that came from the bottom and moved? It's all about timing and when do you peak.
Well, someone's got to hurry up pretty fast because we're approaching January 4th.
I think it's 70 days to the Iowa caucus.
All right, well, you count the dates, and I'll call you for the number, but it is close. Anyway, David, thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up.